In a glittering New York City, ballroom filled with America's elite one, devastating accusation shattered. A powerful woman's reputation in seconds. Security closed in her own. Sister screamed for the police, and the crowd turned vicious. No one believed her, not even her closest family. She stood alone, tears streaming, facing total ruin until a tiny 7-year-old girl in a faded dress pushed through the mob and said 5 words that flipped the entire room upside down. What that little voice revealed next exposed the real thief and changed 3 lives forever. This is the unforgettable true-style story of one false accusation that almost destroyed everything until innocence spoke up. Mike Ramirez, a 34-year-old widower, worked double shifts as a janitor in Manhattan just to keep the lights on in their tiny Brooklyn apartment. His only light was 7-year-old Sophia, a bright-eyed girl who still believed in magic despite the eviction notice taped to their door. They ate ramen most nights, but Sophia never complained. She just drew pictures of the life she dreamed they would have one day. Across the city lived Elena Vasquez, a decorated NYPD lieutenant who had risen from the Bronx streets to become one of the department's most respected officers. She was being honored at the annual Police Benevolent Association gala for her work taking down a major trafficking ring. Her older sister, Carla, her only family, had flown in from Miami to celebrate the biggest night of Elena's career. Sophia had seen the gala on TV and begged Mike to take her. "Daddy, please, they help kids like me there." Against every instinct, Mike used their last cash to rent a cheap suit and dress so his daughter could see real heroes up close. He never imagined they would walk into a nightmare. The grand ballroom at the Plaza Hotel sparkled under crystal chandeliers. Uniformed officers mixed with donors in designer gowns. Elena stood tall in her dress, blues medals gleaming, as the commissioner handed her a crystal statuette engraved with her name, the department's highest civilian honor. Mike and Sophia stayed near the back, awed by the glamour. Sophia clutched her dad's hand, eyes wide at the towering Christmas tree and ice sculptures. Mike felt out of place but smiled, seeing his daughter's joy. Then it happened. Midway through dessert, a scream cut through the music. Mrs. Harrington, wife of the PBA president, frantically searched her wrist. "My bracelet, the diamond tennis bracelet, it's gone. It was right here." Panic rippled. The bracelet was worth over $200,000, a family heirloom. Security locked the doors immediately. Everyone's bags were to be searched. Eyes turned to Elena. She had been seated at the head table near Mrs. Harrington. Someone whispered they had seen Elena admiring the bracelet earlier. Another claimed they saw her hand move strangely near the woman's arm. The whispers grew louder. "She's from the streets, old habits." All that power went to her head. Carla, standing beside Elena, went pale. She had noticed her sister touching the bracelet during photos. In her shock and fear of scandal, Carla's voice cracked across the room. "I think I saw something." "Elena, did you?" The room gasped. Her own sister. Elena stared in disbelief. "Carla, you know me." But the damage was done. Carla, tears streaming, pulled out her phone. "I'm calling it in. We have to do this right." Within minutes, uniformed officers, Elena's own colleagues, arrived to escort her out. The crowd parted like the Red Sea. Phones recorded everything. Elena's career, her reputation, 20 years of service crumbling in real time. She held her head high, but her hands shook. Mike watched in horror, holding Sophia tight. This wasn't right, none of it. Then Sophia tugged his sleeve hard. "Daddy, I know who did it." Mike froze. "Baby, no." But Sophia was already moving, slipping through legs and gowns like a determined little ghost. She marched straight to the center where security held Elena's arms. The room fell silent as this tiny girl in a thrift store dress stepped forward. "Excuse me." Sophia's voice rang out, small but steady. Everyone turned. The pretty lady in blue didn't take it. Mrs. Harrington scoffed. "Sweetheart, this isn't." I saw Sophia interrupted. She pointed across the room at a waiter in a crisp white jacket, the same one who had served their table. He did. When he poured water for the lady with the sparkly wrist, his sleeve caught it and he slipped it inside. I thought it was an accident at first, but then he smiled funny and walked away fast. The room erupted in murmurs. Security grabbed the waiter, Victor Lang, a temp hired last minute. He went pale as they searched his pockets. There, wrapped in a napkin, was the diamond bracelet. Victor broke instantly. He had planned to pawn it that night. Elena had been the perfect scapegoat. Close enough to touch it, poor. Enough background to make the accusation stick. Carla collapsed into Elena's arms, sobbing apologies. I'm so sorry, I panicked, I should have known. Elena held her sister tight, but her eyes found Sophia across the room. She walked over slowly, knelt to the little girl's level, and whispered, You just saved my life, Mia. Sophia smiled shyly. My daddy says real heroes tell the truth even when it's scary. The room applauded, but Elena only had eyes for this brave child and her quiet father standing protectively behind her. 3 weeks later, on Christmas Eve, another eviction notice appeared on Mike's door. His hours had been cut, they had nowhere to go. A knock came at dawn. Elena stood there in civilian clothes, Carla beside her carrying wrapped gifts. Behind them, a moving truck and keys to a fully furnished 2-bedroom apartment in a safe building paid for 2 years. I know what it's like to lose everything, Elena said softly. You and Sophia gave me back my name. Let me give you both a real home. Sophia ran into her arms. Mike finally let the tears fall he had held back for years. Sometimes one small voice of truth is all it takes to change destinies. What would you do in this situation? Tell me in the comments. And if the story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video.